Welcome to Golden Drop, everybody. My name is Sharon McDonald, and I'm super honored to be able to be here today with you to share with you a little bit about frankincense. Are you ready? So frankincense is going to be this beautiful essential oil that, when in doubt, use frankincense. I'd love to know from everybody here who's live with me, have you ever used doTERRA's frankincense? Okay, and if you have, give me a thumbs up. I can see you guys waving, shaking. Yes, put it in the chat. And you can put, this is the most amazing, I've never had a better experience than with frankincense from doTERRA. Oftentimes you will see people will take cypress and put it in for frankincense instead, so that they can prolong the well, it smells the same and it looks the same, so it's similar, but most of the time when you pick up a bottle of frankincense, maybe out of, you know, the dollar store or the health food store, it's going to have rosemary or cypress in there to extend it, and that is a common practice. And so I wanted to share that with you, because that was one of my biggest aha moments. I will never forget the time that my sister was super proud of her 5 milliliter bottle. 5 mil is this size right here, and it has 85 drops in it from doTERRA. So a 5 mil bottle will usually have about 85 drops. And she said, this only cost me $10. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And she said, smell it. And so, of course, I smelled it. And I was just in awe. Thank you so much. And when I smelled it, I could smell pure cypress with a little hint of frankincense. Now, when you open doTERRA's frankincense, it smells like a rich tree. And it smells like you can smell like pine needles, like on a pine tree or on a fir tree too. And it is just the best feeling that you can have. And if you've got, like, I have a little bit of a tension headache right now, and it is just opening me up. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sharon McDonald. I have 22 years now, actually, of experience using essential oils, from everything off of the health food shelf all the way to the best brand in the world, which is doTERRA. And so, finishing up that story with my sister, I brought over to her a bottle of cypress, and I said, hey, why don't you smell this cypress and give it a go and tell me what you think? And she smelled the cypress, and then I said, here's your bottle of frankincense. What do you smell? Oh my gosh. She goes, give me your bottle of frankincense. And she smelled my bottle of frankincense. She said, oh my gosh, I paid $10 for a bottle of cypress, 5 mil. So she just, you know, made them a bunch of money. And so it was super, it was a super good experience for both of us to see. And here's why people choose rosemary or rosemary or cypress, because on a gas chromatograph, which was the #1 way to tell purity in an essential oil for years and years and years, it would mimic the same pattern. So it was really hard to detect that there was cypress or rosemary in it. In fact, the very first essential oil brand that I subscribed to was very, very, what's the word I want to use? Very, well, long story short, they were, they used rosemary all the time, okay? All the time to cut every single oil. And rosemary, when you use rosemary a lot in other essential oils, it smells a little bit like dirt. So everything would have a dirt smell afterward. And that bothered me from those oils. So when I got my doTERRA oils and I put them all up and I lined them all up, I would smell the doTERRA, and then I would smell the other one, and it would always have this dirty smell. And doTERRA's were always crisp, clean. Their peppermint wasn't a high peppermint smell. It was a really nice chocolatey peppermint, York peppermint patty kind of a smell. And so loved it. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to put 1 drop of frankincense, if you have it, in your hand. And if not, this is a great way to get yourself going. You're going to put a drop of peppermint on top of that. And this is a good 3 o'clock pick me up, okay? And okay, so if you don't have these and you have a friend that does essential oils, you ask them for this combination and you are going to be just so excited for what it does to you. So my nurses that work in hospitals, often this is their favorite 3 o'clock pick me up. It was amazing. So that is a little bit. Now frankincense does a lot, you guys. It is good for cognitive development and support. It is really good for emotional support. If you suffer from depression and anxiety, the way that I have my clients use this is I have them put a drop under their tongue. You can put it in your water, but this is my favorite way to use these, and I'll show you how I do it. I open my mouth, lift my tongue like this, and I drop it. Okay, and that's it. And then you can drink your water, and you can do whatever you want. But what's nice about this method is that it stays under your tongue. And so then you don't get that super resiny taste because it really does have a very resin kind of a flavor to it. But what it does is it really, and if you want to give that a go, try it and tell me what you think of it, because it will really open up your senses. Now, where do you apply frankincense? This is one of those essential oils that can be used aromatically, topically, internally, and aromatically. So aromatically, topically, internally, and yeah, those 3 places. Aromatically, topically, and internally. I'm looking for a 4th way. You don't have a 4th way.
Aromatically, topically,
and internally. So you can use, and you don't want to use just any frankincense. You want to be able to use something that is certified pure, therapeutic grade, or high, right? A really high medicinal grade. And so that is doTERRA's, and it is amazing. So to demonstrate how to apply, I'm going to use the roller touch. This is great for people who want to dilute this and use it with their kids, let their kids be able to apply essential oils for themselves. And I'm going to show you how. For anything that is brain related, we're going to apply it right here to our temples, okay? And we're going to apply it here, roll it along the hairline, okay? It's great for beauty too. So, you know, I could really like apply this all over my face. And my face would love me. Okay. And rub it all in. Okay. And you can add it to your moisturizer. You can do any of that. And then behind the ears and behind the neck. Okay. So that's right there. Okay, right there. Yes. I pulled my hair up on purpose for you guys so you can see this. And so you apply it just like that. Now, if you have the bottle, where's the bottle, guys? Right here. You would just drop it on your hands, right, on your finger, rub that in, and then apply it just like that to the back of your neck. Okay? And again, you can apply it right to your face. And it really helps with wrinkles. It's very good for inflammation. So it supports inflammation. It supports digestive. It supports, this was one of the main ingredients that I used when I was battling breast cancer and trying to get my cancer receptors to 0. My friend Brian Huddleston, who had a severe case of cancer, did 5 drops every morning and let that sit for under his tongue for 5 minutes. He wouldn't talk to anybody. He just had it under his tongue, and he still does that to this day for support for his system. So this is great to be applying to the bottom of the feet as well, where it hurts you can apply frankincense. This is one of those very universal, like lavender, very like Swiss Army knife kind of essential oils.
Cindy said that she does a massage on her breast every morning.
Yeah. And so so people ask me for my protocol for over my breasts, and mine was DDR Prime, actually, which has frankincense as one of its main ingredients. So I did DDR Prime, and I rubbed it all over my breasts, underneath my arms. The clove is very warm, you guys, so in DDR Prime, and it really cleans out all the junk from all the years. And after that was out, my arms never burned anymore. Just so you know, when all the aluminum had come out of from under my armpits, it was really amazing. So I would rub that all over my breast, underneath my arms, on the sides, underneath my arms, right next to the breast. If you come from the middle of your breast to the sides, where your sides are. And then I would rub rosemary next. Rosemary was really, really important. It's a very good hormone leveler, and it's great at attacking cancer cells. And then I would put lavender over the top. Okay. And I did this because the lavender helped even out all the smells. But I am telling you, every day I went anywhere, people would be like, you smell amazing. And I was able to bring my cancer receptors from 12% positive to both estrogen and progesterone levels to 0, from 12% in over a 6-month time. Now, I had diet that I did with that. I had a special green drink that I did, and that was and a plant-based diet. Cut all the sugar out of my diet. I would, have a piece of cake every now and again for a birthday, but pretty much that was my protocol. And I did that every morning and every night. And over a 6-month period, we were able to see in surgery that I brought those down to 0. So that was really beneficial for me. Terry, it looks like you have your hand up. Go ahead and open the mic. Can you? Well, hello. Unmute audio. You got it, sister. You did it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terry. You had a question?
Well, I put it in the chat, but I was wondering, I'm having trouble with the medical field accepting the aroma.
Uh-huh.
And so much so that I had been written up for it. So I had to refrain from it. But their fear was it was going to put other people in a state of asthma or some kind of respiratory distress. I'm not a nurse, but just been long enough in the medical field that I know enough to be dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't know how to combat that.
So you really can't unless your administration is going to be open to it. You just can't. So tell me what your field is and how you were using these oils. Do you mind?
No, it's being a secretary, but I was in more of a coordination type thing where I was coordinating a lot of stuff. But my involvement with the patients directly was very little. But it was the nurses, and I think some of that was the fear that something else could be different than medication.
Right. And so one of the best ways anybody can get through to their doctor is to call this complementary care, because it is. Essential oils don't replace medicine for everybody, okay? But they are very complementary. So there are not going to be any contraindications. I know that when I've had clients who have done chemotherapy, the doctors, the oncologists have asked that the day of their chemotherapy treatment that they do not use frankincense for 24 hours of that. And it's because the frankincense does go to work, and their fear is that it makes it less effective. But what's happening is frankincense is doing a more powerful job in just a different kind of a way. So the chemotherapy is actually killing every single cell, and the frankincense has been shown in study after study to encapsulate So it saves all the other cells and tissues, but it encapsulates the cancer. And so that is just up to every medical community and every doctor to really go in and do their own research, and and a lot of people think it's placebo. And so you're just not ever going to bridge that gap necessarily. It's going to take us years, but just in the 10, well, now 12 years old, right? doTERRA has been going since 2008, 7, right? That just now doTERRA is starting to get a lot of recognition in the medical field. A lot of people are now starting to say this company's legit. They have a lot of science, a lot of data behind them. And so we're going to take a look at these studies now, and we're going to start to create liaison programs with this company. And that's why, because doTERRA has put a lot of time and energy into the science of pure essential oils. Okay, pure essential oils are far different than as you know and have experienced, right?
Right.
So in the past, Terry, what people are seeing is they're seeing that when people get around these synthetic essential oils or adulterated essential oils, asthmatic responses do happen. And I have had it where a massage therapist actually did have a reaction using our essential oils because it was pulling all the toxins from all the stuff she had been using. And all she did was cough a little bit, drink a little bit of water. And then she was like, oh my gosh, my lungs are so clear. I have never felt this before. And so the medical community also is concerned about contact allergy, right? Again, because of synthetic practices that have happened over time. Is that helpful?
Very much. Thank you.
So yeah, less is more. So if you have that personal diffuser in a lot of public workspaces, there's a no fragrance policy. And so it's you, yourself, and you're a human diffuser. And so just remember when you're going in public to be mindful of that, and you're working. So you'll want to use those citrus oils that are uplifting, peppermint, and be, just respectful, and people will come around, right, over time. And showing the data is always a great thing.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome, darling. Are there any other questions? I see a little bit of a chat going on here. Offended. Pink pepper. Yes, pink pepper, Kiera, would have been really, really lovely with that protocol. We didn't have pink pepper at the time, did we? But yeah, it would be definitely something to look at, because the chemistry of pink pepper is very supportive to cancer, for sure. So frankincense, like I said, is a Swiss Army knife. It's I always say, if you're going to be home without anything, really, really use frankincense. Make sure that's always in every arsenal that you have, and that you also have lavender and copaiba, along with peppermint or breathe. Those are kind of like you must have for emergency purposes. For those of you who are using Melissa for emotional support, you just need to make sure that is going to never be without you. But know that frankincense will always be very supportive for all these issues. So I want to end today on the frankincense as being the oil of truth on that emotional level. We always read out of this book, Essential Oils and Emotions. It's a lovely book. This is the one that I use right here. And this is found on page 38 for this edition. And frankincense reveals deception and false truths. It invites individuals to let go of lower vibrations and deceptions and negativity. This oil helps create a new perspective based on light and truth. Frankincense recalls to memory spiritual understandings, gifts, wisdom, and knowledge that the soul brought into this world. It is a powerful cleanser of spiritual darkness. Frankincense also assists pulling the scales of darkness from someone's eyes and the barriers from the mind as well. and along the heart. So if you tend to be one of those people that are very guarded and you know it's a problem and you don't open up to people very well, putting frankincense over your heart will help to soften that and help you learn to trust and really use discernment, which is a divine gift all of us have. It's just a matter of honing it, right? And it will help you reveal, and these frankincense helps you reveal the truth. Frankincense supports in creating a healthy attachment to one's father. It assists in the spiritual awakening, helping an individual feel love from the divine. One that is felt abandoned or maybe forgotten, frankincense reminds them that they are loved and protected. While the oil is incredibly powerful, it is also very gentle, like a loving father who nurtures, guides, and protects. So those of you that might not have a really good father figure in your life, this is a very good essential oil to overcome that and to experience a different kind of a relationship with that thought process and with that experience. And depending on everybody's spiritual place where you come from and where you operate from, there will be a sense of a higher power that you can look to where you feel love and you feel connected and you feel worthy and you feel loved, okay? When one is abandoned or forgotten, frankincense reminds them that they are always loved and protected. While this oil is incredibly powerful, it is also gentle. Though through the light and the power of frankincense, an individual can draw closer to divinity, healthy masculinity, and the grandeur of true self. So I want to thank you all for being here with me today. I'm going to leave you with a diffuser recipe. It's one of my very, very favorites. This is one to just really ground your home and help you feel connected. And so I like 10 drops of essential oil in my diffusers because it lasts, and I diffuse for 5 to 8 hours in one batch because I just don't have time. So this is the one that I don't make time. I have time. I don't make time. So in the morning, I will generally start with 5 drops of frankincense. Okay, 5 drops of frankincense. All right. And then I add in 5 drops of wild orange. Now this is going to be more than 10 drops, but when you're using citrus oils, I always add more. And then I love to add 1 drop of peppermint to that. And that is just a super, super uplifting blend of essential oils. I really, really love it. So it's 5 drops of frankincense, 5 drops of wild orange, and 1, you can even add more peppermint if you like. I just don't like peppermint in a lot of anything except for by itself. So it just kind of gives it that kick. And actually, to be truthful with you, pink pepper would actually be a really nice kick to this. If you wanted to take the peppermint out and substitute pink pepper, you could do 1 drop of pink pepper in there, and it would give it a nice smoky, yummy feel and be a little bit more warming, but on a sweet note, very similar to wild orange. So you are joining us on the replay and someone has shared this with you, please make sure you go back to the person that shared this video with you so that you can connect with them and get more information about doTERRA. And if you need any other information, just email me, Sharon, at oils2go.com, and I'll be happy to answer. The best way to buy your essential oils are on that loyalty reward program. You guys, it's amazing. doTERRA pays you back to love your product. You do not need to sell essential oils to get that reward. It's for everyone. But 10 to 30% back on every single order is really a great loyalty program. So I hope that you guys subscribe to that. Again, if you have any questions, ask the person that brought you here to this call. And thank you so much for being here with us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.